Hi everyone, it is Alyssa Porter, and today I'm going to be talking about wearing seatbelts. Not to add on to the statistics of women being bad drivers, but when I had just turned 16, it was probably about 3 or 4 months after I had gotten my license, I was in a pretty serious car accident. I mistakenly thought I was good, and I had turned left across a 3-lane road to try and go left, and I had pulled out right in front of someone. And I looked to my left, I saw the car coming, I gassed it a little bit to try and make it past him, and it did not work. But by the grace of God, he hit the frame of my car instead of my door 100% or the back door 100%. He perfectly hit the middle of the frame. And I was driving a Lexus at the time, so a pretty nice car. And he hit me, and I had spun 3 or 4 times and ended up in the ditch on the other side of the road. And I 100% believe that if I would have not been wearing my seatbelt that day, I would have been ejected from the car, and my injuries would have been so much worse than they actually were. And this is exactly why we all need to wear our seatbelts. So statistically speaking, teenagers about 16 to 19 are the most likely to get into car accidents. And all of us have been that age. I'm 20 right now. I was just 19 a year and a half ago. So, and males in that age group have the highest fatality rate. Second off, ages 18 to 24 are the most likely to not wear their seatbelts, which just increases their risk of injury and death in a car accident by about 50%. So, with all those odds, the consequences of not wearing a seatbelt. First off, kind of like how I talked about earlier, you can be ejected from the vehicle, which almost all the time leads to serious injury or death. And I'm not going to say we don't want to die, but most of us do not want to die. So this is exactly why I wear my seatbelt. Second off, airbags are not enough. Without the use of a seatbelt, the airbags alone can cause injury. And this is exactly why the best way to avoid injury and death in a car accident is to buckle up and wear your seatbelt and to have proper working airbags. Third, seatbelts are super important. First off, it's the law. I live in Louisiana. I'm sure most of y'all do too. And we see the signs all the time when we're driving on the interstate. Buckle up, Louisiana. It's the law. We see it all the time. We have seatbelt checks on the interstates all the time. It is for a reason. Most people think it's just because the cops want to be mean, but it is not the case. It is 100% for a reason, and it is for our own safety. Seatbelts each year save over 10,000 lives. And you might think there's a lot of people on this planet, but if the chances of me surviving or me not getting injured are even upped by 5 or 10% by wearing a seatbelt, I will do it, because I will take anything to avoid the risk of injury or death in a car accident. And I have been in a few car accidents, only one with me driving. Like I said, I'm not adding to the women are bad drivers thing, but I've only been in that one car accident, and I wear my seatbelt all the time. Back seat, front seat, doesn't matter who's driving, my seatbelt is always on, and my airbags work properly. So basically, in conclusion, wearing a seatbelt not only reduces the risk of injury and death, but also it's against the law to not wear a seatbelt. Most cars beep when you do not have your seatbelt on. I know my car does, and I know multiple people who have completely cut that in their car, so their car or truck does not beep when they don't wear a seatbelt. And that is also illegal. So basically, the best way to reduce the risk of injury and death in a car accident is by wearing your seatbelt and having the proper use of airbags. Wear your seatbelt, guys. Yep.